My grandma had a special nickname. Mima is what we called her. I don't remember why we started calling her this, but it's all I ever really knew growing up. It was not until later in life that I found out that Mima is actually a nickname for grandma. It makes sense that such a special and unique person in my life would have a name that meant so much more than grandma. Mima is not with me anymore, and she hasn't been for over 7 years. I often think about her, but not for too long because then I start to cry. I think it's now a good time to pay tribute to my grandma and talk about the incredible impact that she has had on my life and that she still has on my life. So Mima was an actual light in my life. Her laugh was the most contagious laugh I had ever heard. Everyone that knew her wanted to make her laugh because then it would make them laugh. I tried so hard growing up to make her laugh because it would brighten my mood every time. Wanting to make her laugh made me the goofy and silly individual that I am today. I love to make other people laugh, and I really attribute this to her. She was also my biggest fan. She spoiled me with attention that I didn't always get in such a big family. And she encouraged me to be my dorky self and not let the opinion and judgment of others change who I am. Some of my best memories were also spent with her. Spending nights at her house were an often occurrence for my sister and I. And our experience with her was never dull. Waking her up in bed was the first thing we would do in the morning, and it was our favorite thing to do. I remember we would jump into her bed and just lay there with her and watch TV until it was breakfast time, which was another one of my favorites because we would eat sugary cereal and donuts, which I didn't get at home. She was also the most selfless person I ever knew. I had this one memory in particular where I had a special blanket that I would sleep with every night. It was very important to me. And one night I left it at her house, and we had already driven all the way back to my house, which was like an hour away. I remember I was crying so much, and she drove all the way back to my house, which is an hour, and dropped it off for me because she knew how important it was to me. She also cared more than anything about her family and providing for them. She often hosted dinners and holiday parties because she just wanted to bring us all together and provide for us. I remember also she would sit through an entire movie twice with me, like back to back, because I wanted to watch it twice, and she sat there willingly and just watched the whole thing twice, a 2-hour movie. Lastly, my grandma was a fighter. She smoked cigarettes for most of her life, and towards the end, she gave up smoking, and it was really hard on her, but she set her mind to it and she stopped. She constantly was also in pain. She always had back pain, and she would still run around with us and entertain my sister and I, even though she was in pain. She would just fight through the pain to entertain us. She was often sick and sent to hospitals, but she always bounced back. I remember she would mention to me how she wanted to see me get married one day, and that she just felt she would never make it that long. I told her that she would make it that long and she would see me get married because I knew she was a fighter. Unfortunately, she will not see me in physical form get married one day, but I know she will be there in spirit and watching over me. In conclusion, my grandma, Mima, was the light of my life, and she played a huge role in who I am today. Some of my favorite memories were spent with her, and I will hold dear those memories forever. And she was the most selfless person I ever knew, and it really is an inspiration to me going forward in life to just be as selfless of a person as she is.